Hi, good morning to and all. In previous lecture, we discussed about ultrasonic machining. What is the working principle and process flow, different equipments used in a USM, and types of transducers, and advantages, disadvantages, and applications of USM. In this lecture, we will discuss about abrasive jet machining. Abrasive jet machining is one of the type of non-traditional machining. It is under based on classification of energy. It will come under mechanical energy. Okay. Here, it is a non-traditional mechanical machining process in which the material removal takes place because of the impact made by the high velocity air or gas stream of abrasive grains on the surface of workpiece. During the process, we have to supply the compressed air and is known as carrier gas and abrasive particles. These are the micro tools. It will touch the workpiece by applying the compressive force with the abrasive materials. Due to this action, both will pass on the nozzle. Pass through the nozzle. Here, the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy by using the nozzle. It will impinges this kinetic energy on the work material. Due to this, the erosion of the material will take place. Due to this, the machining process will done. Okay. Next, it is used to cut hard and brittle materials, and the process is free form vibrations. In USM, we are based on the principle of ultrasonic. There, the vibrations are created, means by using the amplitude. But in case of abrasive jet machining, we are not creating any vibrations. Coming to working principle, an abrasive is small hard particle having shape, edges, and irregular shape, like sand particles. Consider a sand particle with the sand particles having irregular shapes and sharp edges. It is an example of abrasive particle. Next, the high velocity abrasive particle remove the material by micro cutting action as well as brittle fracture of the work material. During the hitting of abrasive particle on the workpiece, it will happen. Next, the abrasive grains are known as micro cutting tools. Next, it is the working principle, that is diagrammatic representation of abrasive jet machining. In this, we are having first, it is nozzle, that is indicated in green color, and here in this nozzle the middle portion having a small hole. Through this hole, the mixture of gas and abrasive particles will pass through the nozzle. Here the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. From this end of the nozzle having more kinetic energy, it will hit on the workpiece. Due to the hitting on the workpiece, here the machining process, that is the erosion of the material, will form. Here the nozzle is made by using tungsten carbide material. Okay. Next, here the distance between the nozzle tip and workpiece is known as the nozzle tip distance or standoff distance. It is generally the range is 0.3 to 20 mm, and the nozzle diameter generally having, that is internal diameter, that is 0.18 to 0.8 mm. Okay, these are the specifications of the nozzle and the distance between the nozzle and workpiece and internal diameter of the nozzle. Next, coming to mechanism of material removal, that is MRR. Material removal is in AGM takes place due to brittle fracture of the work material. due to impact of high abrasive particles. The impact force due to by mixing the abrasive particles in the water, whenever water air, the mixture of air and abrasive particles hits the workpiece. Due to this force, the material will erode at the hitting point. Next, molding has been done with the following assumptions. That is, abrasives are spherical in shape and rigid. The particles are characterized by the deformed grid diameter. By selecting the abrasive particles, the material, the size should be in spherical and in rigid. At the time of hitting the workpiece, the abrasive particle do not deform the shape. Should be in a rigid manner. Next, the particles are characterized by mean grid diameter. Okay. Next, the kinetic energy of the abrasives are fully utilized in removing material. Next, brittle materials are considered to fail due to brittle failure, and fracture volume is considered to be hemispherical with diameter equal to cordial length of the indentation of the abrasive particle. Next, for ductile material, the removal rate is assumed to be equal to indentation volume due to the particulate impact. Okay. Next, it is the diagrammatic representation of AGM. It consists of first air compressor. From air compressor to the air will flow from here to here. Before the process, here pressure control valve is there. By using this pressure control, we will control the pressure. Next, after that, it will pass to the dryer for removing any extra moisture content. Next, before the mixing chamber, one filter is there to filter the compressed air. After that, it will pass to this chamber. Here the abrasives and air will mix together. After that, from here to here, having electromagnetic on off all, it will control by manual or automatically. From here, it will pass to the nozzle. Here the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. After that, here the particles, that is the mixture of air and abrasive particles will touch the workpiece. The meshing process will occur. Okay, it is the workflow. Next, different components of abrasive jet machining. We will discuss one by one. First of all, air compressor. What is the compressor? Compressor means it will compress the air available in the atmosphere. It will take from input and the output having high pressure. That is known as compressed air or pressurized gas. Next, pressure regulator. It regulates the flow rate of abrasive jet. Next, dryer. It extracts extra moisture from the air and coming to the compressor. Next, air filter. It filters the gas before the entering the mixing chamber. Next, mixing chamber. It is used to mix the gas and abrasive particles. Abrasive feeder. It controls the abrasive powder feed rate in mixing chamber. Nozzle. It forces the abrasive jet over the workpiece. These are the different components used in abrasive jet machining. It is another representation of AGM. It is the gas supply, is filter. Next, pressure regulator valve. After that, here mixing chamber of abrasive particle and compressed air. From here, the foot control valve. It is to operate the valve. Next, from here to the air and abrasive mixture come to here. From here to nozzle. The output of the nozzle having with high pressure energy converted into kinetic energy. It is the workflow. Next, process parameters and machining characteristics. First one, abrasive. Here the material of the abrasive is aluminum oxide, silicon carbide or glass beads. These are the different abrasive particles we are using. Next, The shape should be irregular or spherical. Next, the size should be 10 to 50 micrometers. Next, the mass flow rate should be 2 to 20 gram per minute. Next, coming to carrier gas. The composition of the carrier gas is air, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. Generally, we prefer air. It is free of cost. Next, density, that is 1.3 kg per meter cube. Next, velocity should be 500 to 700 meter per second. Next, pressure should be in between 2 to 10 bar. Next, flow rate should be 5 to 30 LPM. These are the carrier gas characteristics. Next, abrasive jet characteristics, that is velocity in between 100 to 300 meter per second. Next, mixing ratio, mass flow ratio of abrasive to gas. Next, standoff distance between the range, that is 0.5 to 5 mm. Next, impingement angle is 60 to 90 degrees. These are the process parameters of abrasive jet. Next, for nozzle case, the material should be tungsten carbide, that is it is denoted by WC or sapphire. Next, diameter of the nozzle should be 0.2 to 0.8 mm. Next, life of the nozzle, that is 10 to 300 hours based on the type of abrasive particle used. Next, the important mesting characteristics in AGM are the material removal rate, that is MRR, that is next, the mesting accuracy and the life of the nozzle. These are the important mesting characteristics before the selection of the nozzle or abrasive particles. Next, process parameters and mesting of carrier gas, that is gas used in air, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Air is widely used because it having low cost and easily available. Next, gas should be non-toxic, cheap, easily and available. Next, capable of being dried and cleaned easily. Coming to abrasives, aluminum oxide and silicon carbide are used for cutting. Next, the abrasive should have a sharp and irregular shape and be fine enough to remain suspended in the carrier gas. Next, should have excellent flow characteristics. Next, the grain size should be, most favorable grain size is 10 to 50 microns. Next, coarse grains are recommended for cutting. Due to fine grains, if you use fine grains abrasive particle means there is the material removal rate is very low. For that case, we prefer coarse grains are recommended for cutting. Next, finer grains are useful in polishing and deburring. Next, jet velocity. The kinetic energy of the abrasive jet is utilized for material removal by erosion. Erosion to occur, the jet must impinge the work surface with a certain minimum velocity. Next, jet velocity is a function of nozzle pressure, nozzle design, abrasive size, mean number of abrasive per unit volume of carrier gas. The formula is, that is M is equals to volume of flow rate of abrasive grains per unit time by volume flow rate of carrier gas per unit time. Next, coming to work material. The AGM is recommended for processing of brittle materials. Most ductile materials are particularly unmachinable by AGM. Here the ductile metals we cannot machine by using the AGM process. Next, standoff distance. The standoff distance is defined as the distance between the nozzle end tip to the work surface. Here, if you use large SOD means The material removal rate is low. Suppose if you use small MRR means the standoff distance is due to the reduction in nozzle pressure with decreases in distance. Suppose the small MRR as large S40 is due to the injet velocity with increase of distance. Observed in diagram, in first case, here the standoff distance is 0.75. The material removal rate, that the width of the cut is 0.75. But in case of if you increase the depth standoff distance, that is 1 mm, what happened here? 0.7, the width will be increased to 0.7, but the depth will be reduced here. That is the material removal rate is decreased. Suppose if you use 1.5 mm, what happened here? The width will be increased. By increasing the distance, standoff distance, the width of the cut is increasing, because here the angle of the output will be increasing from by increasing the standoff distance. Next, coming to effect of standoff distance, that is tip clearance. Suppose if you take 0.75, that is the distance between the nozzle tip and workpiece. The depth and diameter of cut is 0.5, that is the shape will like this, and material removal rate is 10. By increasing the standoff distance from point to point, what happened is the MRR will be increasing, that is 25, 52, 62 and 56 and 50. That is by increasing the distance, what happened here? The material removal rate are also at one point, that is maximum, that is the distance is 10. At that point the maximum MRR will get, that is 62. Of that it will reducing. Next, coming to nozzle design. Nozzle has to withstand the erosive action of abrasive particles. It should be made of materials that can provide high resistance to wear. Next, common materials are sapphire and tungsten carbide. Next, it should be designed in such a way that the pressure loss should be bends due to bends and friction loss in the little as possible. Next, nozzle can be rectangular or circular in cross section. These are the characteristics of parameters at the time of design of nozzle. Next, coming to advantages. It has capability of cutting holes of intricate shape in hard materials. Next, thin sections of hard and brittle materials like germanium, mica, silicon, glass and ceramic metals can be machined. That is, all these materials are brittle materials. Next, process is free from clatter and vibration as there is no contact between the tool and workpiece. Next, abrasive jet machining process creates localized force and generate lesser heat than the conventional machining process. Next, the power consumption in abrasive jet machining is considerably low. Next, coming to limitations of the AGM. Material removal rate is lower, that is 15 mm³ per minute. Next, abrasive particles tend to get embedded, particularly if the work material is ductile. Next, tapering occurs due to the flaring of the jet. Okay. Next, applications for drilling holes of intricate shape in hard and brittle materials. For machining fragile, brittle and heat sensitive materials. Next, AGM can be used for drilling, cutting, deburring, cleaning and etching. Here mainly it will mainly used in abrasive jet machining, mainly in deburring. In deburring we use fine coarse abrasive particles. Suppose if you use coarse abrasive particles means it will easy to the material removal rate is high. Suppose if you use fine grain particles means it is the material removal rate is less. For that, in case of deburring we use the fine grain abrasive particles for cleaning and etching. These are the applications of abrasive jet machining. In next lecture we will discuss about Water jet machining. In water jet machining, what are the process flow and working principle and types we'll discuss in next lecture. Here the micro machining of brittle materials. The materials can like non-metals like paper boards, plastic boards, rubber, leather and fiberglass. Okay, thank you.